Hello again, it's Lock Noob, and in front of us are two new items that are available on Law Lock Tools website, and these were sent to me by Law Lock Tools just so I can show them off to you all. So thank you, Law Lock Tools, for that. I actually really appreciate it when lock pick manufacturers send me things I can show off or review on my channel. It just really helps me to show what is available to everybody so you can make all your own decisions about what you want to buy. Anyway, where to start? I think the first place to start is probably here, which is this Hooligan Bar. And that is its name, the Hooligan Bar. You can buy this for £3.50 on the Law Lock Tools website, and that's pre-VAT, so it's going to be a little bit more with VAT. But yeah, it's only £3.50, and this is 301 stainless steel top of the keyway tensioner. And it's a really, really awesomely thick, extremely strong pry bar. Just look how white my thumbs are turning. I'm just trying to bend this. 1 millimeter is, a standard thickness. This is 2 millimeters thick. Usually when you buy a set of these from a company, they come in 0.8, 1 millimeter, and 1.2 millimeters. I don't know of any other company, and please let me know if there are any, who are making a top of the keyway tension like this above 1.2 millimeters. Like I said, let me know in the comments if there are any. But you might be thinking, well, isn't this too wide for a lot of keyways? Well, I've got like a keyway here, and you can see that yes, it is indeed way too wide to get into some keyways. But the standard rule of thumb is that you would try to use a tensioner which fits the most snug into a lock as you can, so that you have really nice fine control over the movement of the tensioner without it having a lot of play. If you have a very wide keyway and you put a very thin tensioner in there, what you end up doing, of course, is having loads and loads of play and risk the thing torquing out or just falling out. So, what kind of locks would need something like this? Well, if you've been picking for a while, like I have, then you will come across many, many locks where something like this will just be a bit of a godsend in terms of tensioners. Look at this lock. This is a slider lock. There's the key. Tensioning these are always a pain. Getting a Y wrench or something like that in there is really difficult. But this, look at this, just pop that in. It automatically provides tension to the lock. It's almost like it was made for it. It's a little bit of play, but all things considered, it's pretty tight. And that will allow you to access that lock pretty nicely. Then you have things like wafer locks, and wafer locks like this often have quite wide keyways, and again I can pop the tool in here and it has really nice control, very little room either side. Same with vintage locks like this, and this is another wafer lock mechanism, and again you've got the opportunity to get a really nice tension control using a super thick pry bar like this. And you know what, think outside the box. Why not have something like dimple locks? These often require quite a lot of tension, so again, this will just slide in, or the bigger end if you want, and provide tension to dimple locks like this. And with a really thick pry bar like that, you can add a lot of torque. Not too much, you don't want to damage the lock, but it's really, really interesting. And I think a welcome addition to lock picking tools in general to have a thicker pry bar. If anything, I'm a bit greedy. I'd actually like to see different things, so maybe 1.8, 1.6 and 1.4 in addition. So Law Lock Tools, if you're feeling super generous to the community and you want to try out some extra thicknesses other than this Hooligan Bar, then I think that would be great too. But yeah, that's a Hooligan Bar by Law Lock Tools. I think it's, like I said, fantastic that somebody's making something a bit different out there to help us out with those slightly weirder locks, which are usually a bit harder to tension. So that leaves us then with this rather nice looking warded padlock pick set, which Law Lock Tools website tells me is £10.99 before tax. And just looking at these, again, just as you'd expect from Law Lock Tools, just nicely rounded. Nice little, I don't know, radar, echo, don't know what that is, but it's quite nice to have a little feature in the handle there, I guess. And these are warded padlock picks, also known as skeleton keys. Why skeleton keys? Well, let me pop these down and I will show you a warded padlock and its key. So what you can see here is the shackle pawl, which engages with the shackle here. And if I insert the key, you'll see that I am pulling back that pawl by turning the key. So it's actually a little latch or actuator around here in the lock, and that is attached to this pawl. You pull on the latch, the pawl actually retracts, allowing you to just open the lock as per normal. Brilliant. But you don't need all of this key to open the lock. This looks like bitting, but all this does is has cutouts to allow it to pass through warding inside the lock. Bits of metal that essentially stick out. You can actually see those bits of metal that look like ribs on the inside of the lock on both sides. And what you're trying to do is pass through that warding, those metal ribs on the inside of the lock. Thing is if you just ground off all of this key apart from maybe the last 2 millimeters and left the tip, the key would work just the same. So, as by demonstration, imagine that this is a skeletonized version of the key, and I'll overlay it to show you what I meant. So there you go. You could just cut away the key to leave essentially just the tip and get rid of all that metal here, making essentially something like this, and that will allow you to go in to the lock and open it just like the key would. And you can see it's withdrawing that pawl. Why not just have this one tool and leave all of these at home? Well, there are multiple different types of warded lock. Here is another one. And whilst I find that this one works on a lot of locks, even this one, if you can get it just right, there's usually one of these warded picks or skeleton keys which just works a bit better. And I find with this works just beautifully. And again, this has a slightly different mechanism. It doesn't have a pawl, it has like a little bit of wire that moves out of the way, but the effect is pretty much the same. So there you go. This is a set of warded skeleton keys from Lock Tools to go along with that really, really cool Hooligan Bar, which is just here. And there you go. So yeah, go check them out if you like them. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you know of any other thicker pry bars that you can buy anywhere, then let me know as well in the comments, and I will see you all next time.